What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back, cause got your ass, Mr. Postman. I have the audio of Kristen and OG talking, honey. It is, the full audio, not the edited shit that they put on the Basketball Bullies TV show, honey, okay? Let me play it, and honey, I will be in and out, honey, with my commentary.
Hey, come on in. It's a little messy, but we saved it for you. Come on, Mama Sita. You like it? To have a conversation with you, to hear you, to understand where you are coming from, to not interrupt you, to do nothing but in the beginning I'll say listen because I may have a different opinion and I may not, but I really want to understand and be very fair with you when it comes down to what experiences or feelings, whatever it is that you feel when it comes down to the colorism thing. And I wanted to have this conversation because I feel like we're the same skin color. So I'm hoping that we can have that conversation. I'll tell you what I told the other ladies. I said, it is very possible that we're not listening and that we missed something. And no one's asking her what.
Oh, really? Is that really? Did I hear that on the show? I need to go back and look at the show. I didn't hear her say all this.
What we possibly have missed, where she was in an experience and felt some type of way. I said, no one's talking about, so I want to. So if you want them to be here, I get it. Otherwise, if you and I can have a conversation, great, whichever way. But I want to listen to, how we got.
Hell no, I'm not having no conversation with you alone, bitch. I need witnesses. We are on the Basketball Bullies, honey. I need witnesses.
Here, when it comes down to feeling like people were being colorist.
Okay, so for starters, there isn't much I want to say because I feel like I've already touched on it, and I've touched on it in great depth, and there's not much to beat with a dead horse. Yes, we are similar in complexion, but there's different things that go along with that, like features and stuff like that, facial features. So for me, there isn't anything that I need to hash out. I am very transparent. I speak on things when it's present, and then I move on. This happened over a year ago. I don't have to talk about something that is an everyday experience. I don't have to talk about something that is a lifestyle that we push through as Black women. It happens. I pointed it out and I moved on. So when I truly move on, I don't go back and have to bring it back up again because I feel like I handled it the way I wanted to handle it in that situation, in that point in time in history. And it's history to me. It's something that I witnessed. I cannot ever explain myself to someone to get them to understand what it's like to be me or be in my shoes or experience what I've experienced. Right. There are a lot of things that have happened on and off camera that I don't have to share because they've happened. And I think that it's really important to talk about situations in proximity to when it happens because a lot of details get lost. So I don't really have much to say. I mean, I don't have anything to explain. It's not we got here or we got there. It's just I'm over it. I know certain issues. I've addressed them the way I wanted to address them, and I've moved on. So.
Okay. I'm not going to force you. I felt like as a woman of the same skin color, and now I see that you're saying that features are a part of it. These were things that I didn't know. So.
Bitch, you knew that. You knew that like that was a thought in your head, okay? Everybody, whether you talk about it out loud or not, it is a thought in your head when you look at somebody's color and you see features. Kristen, you clearly can see that you look more exotic looking than OG to the viewing audience, to just people out in the world. You know, Kristen has that mixed girl look. She has the curly, wavy hair, you know, that the guys like, that they go to a lot of mixed girls to get, right? Kristen fits that. How does Kristen not see that? Do you guys really feel like Kristen doesn't see that? She just feels like, oh, it's color, and like, it's color, it's features, you know, it's so much to colorism. And for her to act like she's that ignorant to it, I don't believe it.
You are bringing something different to the table that I didn't know was affecting the situation. I literally thought it was just a skin color thing. So call it education for somebody who felt like she wanted to be educated on knowledge of sitting possibly in the same room and not experiencing it because of the reasons that you said, if you feel like it's a feature thing or whatever the case is. So my intention was to literally just understand and hear you out, but if you don't want to talk about it, I can't force you to talk about it.
I've talked about it. That's what I'm saying.
I would like you and I have never talked about it. The only thing we've ever done is unfortunately been at each other. You know, I don't want to do that. I heard you say, and this is not verbatim, so please correct me if I'm incorrect, y'all don't know me. So they are over there, I am here, and I am trying to understand and get to know you without that aspect of people.
Colorism isn't a part of me. Colorism has nothing to do with me.
Okay.
Being a colorist is not who I am. So that, if you want to get to know me, ask another question or come about it a different way so that it's more directed to actually knowing me as a person and not talking about a portion of something that happened that has nothing to do with me. Does that make sense?
No.
Like, I don't know how to word it in the best way, because
no, I see what you're saying.
It's not me. I am a very deep person, but I don't express my feelings to just anyone because people take people's feelings and use it against them. So
that's right.
This evening I haven't said anything about how I feel. I've simply said I've talked about it already. I've talked about it in proximity to when it happened. And to me, there's nothing more to talk about. Education has to be something that each person wants to do. There has to be a teacher and there has to be someone learning, and vice versa, because you can learn as a teacher as well.
That's right. Oh my God, you guys. OG is just brilliant. And the fact that they just don't get her is just baffling to me. Like, she's so real and precise when she speaks.
I think that a one-on-one conversation doesn't serve anyone any good, because there are questions that she might have or questions that she might have or somebody else, and that person can learn from a conversation or learn from a discussion that's open. I don't really like kumbayas or one-on-ones too much if it's a group thing, because these topics happen with the group. So I feel like if it happened with the group, it should be hashed out with the group. Right. Because then it's not she said, you know what I mean? It's
right.
Not.
That way everybody is there and say, yeah, I heard, her say this. I heard this. I agree.
Oh, well, she had this attitude or she had this attitude and now there's no witnesses.
Right.
To interpret it differently.
Come on,
so,
OG.
I'm not mad. I told you from day one, the day I met you, pool party, we moved on. Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember that damn pool party, Kristen? Well, my husband, and I got a husband. Why you have to say all that to OG? Because you don't feel like she could get a husband? And the running joke on the show now is that Kwame doesn't want OG. When I look at these reviews, that is what people are saying. And yes, you guys, they have the right to their opinion and how they see the show, but I think I just feel like it's ignorant and it's irresponsible to say that man don't want her and he's on camera. He's showing up. He may not be showing up in a way that you want him to show up, but nonetheless, he's right there by OG's side while they're building a house and talking about starting a family. He's there. He's, in proximity to the show. It's not like like Real Housewives of Atlanta and Kenya is talking to him on the answer machine, her ex-husband, Mark. Do you see what I'm saying? Kwame is right there. So for people to try to make a joke of that shit pisses me off. Because it just adds to the dialogue and the conversation of, well, OG is ugly and she can't get a man to be by her side. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't like that. I really get annoyed with that, because to me that makes things worse.
At the Jackie's event, her PSA, we moved on. Skincare event, we moved on. At Phoebe's, what was that? The open mic, kind of like the open mic night, we moved on. I feel like I've forgiven and moved on so many times. There's nothing really to talk about. Like, I truly believe if I see how someone is, I'll vibe with them or I won't. And there's nothing wrong if you don't get along. You just don't have to, like you said, we don't have to bicker. But again, I'm not mad at anybody, but I'm here to listen. I was told you had stuff you wanted to say, so I'm trying to listen.
And I didn't say get off your chest. I said Kristen wants to talk to you.
Yeah, and for me, the conversation was, and I feel like when we've had conversations in the past, I probably interrupted you, right? I probably was talking before even hearing everything that you were trying to say because I was already ready for it. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to understand your point of view about a very specific subject that I felt was relevant in the times that we are in. I wanted to understand your point of view, being of the same skin tone, and you've already enlightened me that it gets past that. It wasn't even anything we needed to go back and forth about. It really could have been you educating me on how you feel, me either agreeing or not agreeing with it, but at least I had insight on why, and damn, I missed that when this happens, those sorts of things. But like I said, I mean, I can't, this is all that I can do. This is all that I can do. I wanted to hear you, and if you don't have anything to say, then there's nothing for me to listen to.
Can somebody make some clarity out of this? I thought you had something you wanted to say.
I just
see my thing, Kristen, and
I was saying.
I didn't miss it. I thought it.
Kristen don't know if her ass is coming or going. Okay, that's why I don't see it for that bitch. I don't like her. She's fake. To me, she somewhat came off as being genuine when her and OG first started talking, and then by the time she makes her way to Shawnee and Evelyn, it's kind of like she knows what to say to further gaslight the situation and make OG look bad. She did a lot of that on that past episode. That's why I'm not here for her.
It was really sweet, and I still do that. You said, I want to talk to OG myself. If I'd have known it was about the colorism issue, I would have relayed that to her.
Yeah, I didn't tell exactly what it was about.
Yeah, I had no idea. Or I would have said it to you.
Well, so I haven't talked about it. What do you want to talk about? Well, you have to lead the conversation, though.
The conversation was asking you a question, and you chose to answer by saying that you don't want to talk about it. I would love...
What? Do y'all hear this shit? Child, it couldn't be me.
To know, maybe I'll be more specific. Why do you feel like you experience colorism in this group?
I don't want to share that with you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That specific topic, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is the conversation that I came to have.
Kristen, you know damn well why she's bringing up the colorism. Okay, it's all that favoritism that Shawnee shows to Evelyn. It's the monkey emoji. She has experienced so much disrespect on this show because of how she looks. Her color is a part of her look. Yes, there are other darker women on the show or that have been on the show, but nobody, I don't think, and I could be wrong, y'all correct me in the comments, but nobody has been Well, Kristen and OG are kind of like the same color, but like I said, on these type of shows, somebody like Kristen is going to get a pass, right? We never had no woman that looks like OG and that gets called ugly. Like, people be calling her fucking ugly like they're saying good morning. You don't treat a human being like that. To me, it's above and beyond the colorism aspect, and that's disgusting in itself, right? It's just treating somebody like a fucking human being. thing. I would never want nobody to talk about me or my daughter in the way that they've talked about OG on this show. That's why I got such an issue with it. It's a respect thing. And it's disgusting that Shawnee allows this shit to go on.
She doesn't want to have it. I can't do nothing but respect that. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, listen, you heard me say, my whole thing is, if I can help in any way, and all of us should do this and want this openness to have grown women conversations and move forward. And I feel like that's what you guys are having, is a grown woman conversation. Agree to disagree or not disagree. What I don't like is a snooty, uppity bitch, and I ain't saying that's you, just rude and making shit worse in our group. And no one's doing that. So let's not do that. Let's just keep the communication open. Who knows what can happen? If OG doesn't want to talk about it, it's great that you're respecting that. I didn't know what it was, so all I said is Kristen wants to talk to you. That was it.
Can I ask you this? You've been present for different events. You've been present where there's been name calling, correct? Do you recall those events?
Are you saying name calling just to you or in general?
Towards me. I'm speaking towards me because you want to know my perspective. So you've been present when I've been called different names, correct?
I have been present. There's a specific situation I can think about where you were called a name.
Okay, correct. So that in itself should be the epitome of, or a baseline of where to start with this group. The fact that I can literally say every single person in this circle has had a judgment or something to say about me before they met me speaks volumes.
Yeah.
If I can say that girls have openly admitted that they've Googled me and passed judgment on me, that's going to be solely based off of appearance. You don't know me.
Right.
That speaks volumes. That's the baseline. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm putting a wall up, but I have to protect my sanity.
That's right.
My peace.
Come on, baby.
And just my overall everything. Like, these are things that aren't going to happen in one conversation. That's like trying to explain slavery or explain the Holocaust in one conversation.
That's right.
You can't do that.
There's so many different levels and layers to it. Oh my God, you guys, she is preaching a word. Come on, OG.
Because it's generational. It's also something that, how can I word this without sounding too frank? What I'm saying is, it's learned behaviors. It's taught. And so you are either aware of it. Some people are naive, and being naive is not a bad thing, so I don't want anyone to take that negatively. Some people are naive to certain things until they're forced to see it. And I think because of what's been happening with COVID, I think because of what happened to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and all these people, that we were forced to see their situations because our lives had to stop so that we could pay attention to theirs.
Come on, baby.
Opening everybody's eyes. But
that is so true what she's saying, you guys.
I've already been awoke.
That's right.
I've already seen it.
Right.
I've already experienced it.
That's right.
So for me, there's no point in hashing out all those things because it's not a one conversation topic. That's what I'm trying to relay to you. It's deeper than that. So,
can I ask you a question? Or can I? So, the instance that I was recalling mentally was someone called you unattractive. How, or is that a separate thing from the colorism issue?
She didn't just say unattractive. Now, whether everybody was paying attention because there was yelling, and I took the yelling till I couldn't take it no more. She didn't just say that. So that's what I mean by it's important to talk about it when it's relevant to the time, because then you miss out on details, and no one has a perfect memory. So there was a lot of things that were said, and there was a lot of things that, like I said, on and off camera. And people forget that they have mics on. People forget that we are interacting in a different dynamic.
Right.
And all of this, I learned early on, it's very important to try to remember what you say. Because even in a situation with us, I thought I said something differently. But when it plays back to me, and when I rehear myself, I'm like, oh shit, I did say it like that. Okay, and that's the AZ comment, all that stuff. I didn't even remember saying it like that, but I was in the heat of the moment. But I was able to relive it because we talked about it closer in proximity to when it happened. You see what I mean? So it just depends. Like, to me, I wanted to have fun. I was hesitant to come on this girls trip because I'm in a different space. But at the same time, I wanted to have fun. I wanted to see my girls, so, and that's what I intend on doing. Yeah.
I mean, I think we are going to have fun.
Yeah.
And I think the first step was you even trying to understand. I think everyone wants to understand, but I don't want to put words in nobody's mouth. My whole thing, like I said, and it's going to continue to be, is for people to get along. When I get involved, and I am guilty of, when I'm mad, I will vent and I will say shit, but none of this. I'm just saying in general. I'm working on getting better with that. But you would rather me say something than to do something. So for me, it's I care about everybody here, or I wouldn't even be entertaining it. And the only thing I relayed to her was you wanted to talk. That was it. Nothing more. I know you like to say people add on dubs, no dubs. It was just that.
I think I read your shit.
Yeah, you do. I don't be adding dubs. Maybe you do shit. I don't dubs is extras, but
shit.
I just want you to know, Kristen, because I know you're going to probably have the conversation with the ladies, and I know, when things are kind of, like OG said, when it's not, when you got to try to figure out what people and how it was taken and how it was said if you're not there to hear it. That's all it was. And
Let me say this. I'm going to speak for myself. If it is possible, if we done had our shit. I know I done said some fucked up shit, but to me, this topic, this colorism, this racism, is such a big deal. I have been in a situation to be fortunate. It's not even the right word because it's such an unfortunate situation, but in a situation to have learned and been educated and eyes really open to what is really happening in our community. And that is nothing anyone should experience. It's the times that we live in. Let's be real, racism is not going away. Thank God we do, or it feels like we have kind of a clean slate with this new president, but I have never felt that way in this group.
Sorry. Just to be clear, it is what I experienced. I want that to be clear.
Right. Why do you, Kristen, keep saying, well, I never went through it? Just because you haven't went through it doesn't mean it exists. Doesn't mean that what they say and do to OG on this show is okay.
I shared my feelings.
Okay, can you explain that to me? What is it?
Feelings on an emotional level, I have not shared that with anybody.
Got it. Okay. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
It's, I expressed what I experienced. Okay. I expressed what I witnessed. And I really don't want to have to go down the line to point out everything. That's going to be counterproductive to me. Okay. Because the one instance that you only remember, I can remember 3 or 4 of just you. So that's what I'm saying by it's subjective.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I did something that made you feel like I was being a colorist?
Not made me feel
I'm
like
sorry,
anything.
Did you experience colorism with me?
For example, I think everybody is familiar with terms like angry black woman.
Yeah.
Okay? That term is associated with colorism. They paint predominantly dark-skinned women as angry,
being aggressors. Remember, we had the same conversation about Real Housewives of Potomac, where a lot of people feel like it's okay to call Wendy of Real Housewives of Potomac ferocious. Remember Ashley? You was being aggressive. Candace is aggressive. No, Monique's ass is aggressive. She's actually fighting somebody. Okay, we all can get heated and say something in a powerful way. It doesn't mean that you're aggressive. Aggressive to me is more or less your actions, right? Like you ready to fight, okay? Or you ready to take shit to the next level. We done seen Ashley from Real Housewives of Potomac act aggressive, but see, it gets passed over because she's mixed. It gets passed over because she has a mixed baby that looks white and has, a white husband. See, it gets passed over, okay? But Candace and Wendy, because they 2 of the darkest ones on that show, they get called aggressive. All right. Let's just call a spade a spade.
Aggressive. This, that, combative, whatever word you want to plug in.
And I have been called these things too, you guys, by white people. And I was very offended because I felt like I am a human being and I have a right to my feelings. And unless I put my hands on you, then I ain't did shit to you. So, you know, you feel like what I said was aggressive all day, you know.
If I am doing a behavior where I'm using my mouth.
That's right.
And I'm expressing to you or you, how I feel about something, or I'm expressing to you an experience and it's constantly getting shut down or it's manipulated and reversed as if I'm the problem, that is associated with angry black woman syndrome and colorism. They link together. Now, if somebody of a lighter complexion or a different ethnicity is doing the same exact thing I'm doing and worse, taking it to a physical level, that.
Like Evelyn jumping on top of the tables, throwing that drink at Jennifer, hitting Jennifer with her clutch. What was that, season 4 of Miami? Okay, throwing a bottle at Kenya's head that almost hit Shawnee. Like we saw Evelyn throw that drink at that girl. Like she doused that girl with that alcohol. Y'all remember the girl that she had a private eye investigate. Y'all remember some girl was stalking her. I forgot what season of Basketball Wives that was. But yeah, why you throwing drinks and shit? You know, if you want to cuss the lady out, cuss her out and walk away. But you throwing drinks and being violent. And then the next thing out here in defense of Evelyn's behavior is she Puerto Rican. You know, they get upset. Don't nobody give a damn about that. Okay? Don't nobody give a damn about that.
It's colorism. You're not holding that person accountable.
That's right.
Of their appearance,
right,
their complexion, their features, whatever you choose to judge them by, you think what they did is less than what the dark-skinned, angry black woman, quote unquote, did because of what? There's only 2 things that are separating them as the pendulum, the color of their skin.
That's right.
You were at the reunion.
I was.
You were at the reunion.
Where they separated and segregated OG from the rest of the girls, yet she had never put her hands on anybody, but you got Malaysia throwing motherfucking tables the season before. She didn't get segregated from the rest of the girls, right? Okay? You got Evelyn trying to run up on Cece, and Evelyn was knocked down by OG because OG don't play that shit, okay? She don't play that shit. She ain't gonna allow you to attack her friend from behind, pulling that coward move. Did they separate Evelyn? That's my question to y'all. Did they separate and segregate Evelyn from the rest of the girls that season? No, they didn't. And Shawnee gets in this last episode, well, I do show, favoritism and preferential treatment to Evelyn. And bitch, that's a problem and your monkey ass need to be off the show. Okay, because Shawnee, you ain't all that cute either. All right. None of these women, while they want to sit up and talk about OG, have you seen any of these bitches when they first got on this show? All of them, Malaysia included, look fucked up. Shawnee was not that cute. Jackie to me kind of looked the same. Evelyn, I seen a picture of her before she even got on Basketball Wives, and I was like, who is that? And that's cool, but my thing is this, y'all act like y'all forgot where y'all came from. Y'all wasn't looking all that good before y'all got on this damn show, because Miss Robinson, remember, honey, I got the receipts. I've seen it. I always thought Shawnee looked like some damn bird. Okay, like I always thought she wasn't even all that cute, but see, she's light skinned. What about Hazel E's ass? She ain't cute. I don't see nobody saying all types of shit about her. Okay, she's light skinned. She get to get away, with it. And I'm not one, you guys, to be going around talking about folks' looks. But if we gonna talk about how OG looked, then we can talk about a couple of other people too. Okay?
To segregate somebody who hasn't laid a finger on anyone.
That's right. Come on, baby. That's right. Come on.
I did not. I feel like all of these conversations, didn't I tell you guys? I said I'm not putting words in her mouth. I'd rather.
So can I ask you a question about that part of it?
I don't want this to be a question.
No. I want to tell you something, but if you want to hear it from the horse's mouth, I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay.
So I learned today why you sat differently. Now, the person who knew the information can tell you herself so that I don't fuck it up, or I can tell you what I heard, and I might leave out a word or two because I wasn't writing it down. Nobody's saying shit wrong. Or I can tell you what I learned today. But if you don't want to hear from me, then I won't. So that was on my own.
I'd rather hear it from the horse's mouth.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. I won't say anything else.
Did you know what was going on when it happened?
What part?
At the reunion.
With her sitting on a different stage?
Yeah, like so me personally, I didn't know what was going on until we got to the stage, which is what I explained to you earlier. So I'm just curious if you knew.
That's Jennifer talking, guys.
Hitting the stage.
I knew when I stepped up the stairs and saw the seat arrangement.
Oh, see on it. Okay.
And I learned today the real of why it was, how it was. Which I don't think any of us knew in depth because apparently that's above the pay grade. Right?
Too much above my pay grade is above everything. No, she's teasing. I know. I feel like.
Were you happy with what you had?
I don't exactly was privy to what was going on.
I understood. No, I wasn't. I was privy when they asked me to go over there and talk to OG, which is
oh,
great.
Yes,
I went over there and talked to her. But what I'm saying is, what Kristen is trying to say is the situation with Tammy was supposed to come to the reunion and so on and so forth. But like you said, let OG and Shawnee have that conversation because that is something that has nothing to do with any of us. And it's not a bad thing, but I don't know, so I don't want the words either, Kristen. I get what you're saying. So, that's probably something y'all should probably have.
At the end of the day, that day it was told to me in the moment that it was because people felt threatened. That's what was told to me. So any new creation of a reason after the fact, I'm going off of what happened in the moment.
That's right.
So that's what happened. That's what was told to me. And like I said, I don't want to have to go down the line. Everybody knows what they did. I think it's important for people to be accountable. I think it's important for people to own up to stuff without asking questions to know what they did wrong, because then that defeats the purpose. If you don't recognize what you did, then there is no learning experience.
And you're going to keep doing the same shit over and over again, Shawnee O'Neal.
Dig deep, recognize what you did. If you feel you did something, if you feel you didn't do anything, that's the other option too. There's options. But for me, I'm not going to just pretend like I'm innocent. I did not do anything first. I can say that.
That's right.
I never came into this group attacking anyone. And to date, I have not mentioned anything about anyone's appearance in a negative way. If I pointed out a wig, I said a wig. I didn't say it was ugly. I didn't say it was pretty. I didn't say anything nasty about it.
That's
right. I just said you have a wig on. And that's not a negative thing. A lot of us wear wigs. I openly wear wigs, and I'm not trying to pretend like this wig is my real hair, because I have hair and I protect it with my wigs. That's a protective style. So I've never said, oh, you're ugly, or your boobs are gross, or your titties go like this, or tearing down women. I don't do that.
Right. And that is what they do on this show. Always trying to tear somebody down. And, like I said, they came on this damn show looking a mess. Or if it wasn't on this show, I've seen pictures of all of them, even Jennifer bad, but, she wasn't all that back then either. You know what I'm saying? Like, she could dress nice, but they just kill me with that. And to me, they're way too damn superficial. They always trying to focus on how somebody look. And I get it. On this show, you got to look nice and this, that, and the third. But people need to stop being so damn judgmental. Everybody ain't going to wear the type of weave and wigs you wear, the type of clothes you wear. This lady is from a completely different country. Y'all should understand that and be sensitive to that. And none of them, they never tried to hear her out when it came to that. They just thought they was going to bully this woman. See, if OG, like I told y'all, was a weaker woman and allowed them to disrespect her, she wouldn't have been separated or segregated at that reunion. If Evelyn would have got the chance to attack Cece physically and scare the shit out of her and hit her, and OG wouldn't have pushed Evelyn down, they wouldn't have did that. See, they don't like that OG is not for the shit. And I love that about OG, because OG said, bitch, not today, and tomorrow don't look good either. It's not going down on my watch. Okay?
energy. I don't even remember what somebody asked me what somebody was wearing at the reunion. I said something totally different because I couldn't even remember what she was wearing because all I knew. Not you. I did say that. I was asked. I said, like I couldn't remember. I forgot. Cece had a yellow dress on. I think she had emerald print. That should tell you how much I don't really analyze people to the point where I want to like tear them up or down. Like I just. Pretty is pretty. Everybody's subjective, but one thing I have not done in this group has single-handedly called people like disrespectful things about their appearance or tore them down. Have I defended myself? Yes, and I will always defend myself. I will always choose me over anybody who's attacking me.
That's right.
Period. That's hands down. So that's never going to change. That's how I've always been since I was a child. So that's me. I know me. So yeah, I don't know.
Bottom line, guys, OG is just too real for this show. She's just way too real for this show. They can't handle somebody, this real, and authentic.
One thing that I personally have to say I disagree with, I don't know if it's fair for you to say that people can't ask questions to see if they've done something wrong. Because to be 100 with you, I know the shit that I've said, and I know the shit that I've said in anger, and those aren't proud moments for me. But
are you willing to tell the truth about it, Kristen? No, you're not. Because as soon as you get back to that other side with Shawnee and Evelyn, you start acting like a bitch again. You kind of letting your guard down now. You having a conversation with OG, but you switch up. You're fake. That's why I don't like her ass. Once I saw you guys how she was willing to treat Cece to fit in with them other girls, I was like, yeah, she a fake ass bitch. They better watch out for her.
Everything I cannot or I refuse to, maybe you could show me differently, feel like I ever made you feel that I was a colorist. I don't feel like I...
She never specifically said that you was a colorist. It's just you go along with things and you don't exactly speak out. Like, damn, do you fucking listen?
And even close to that box. But maybe you could say, Kristen, you did X, Y, and Z, and I would feel like I wasn't being... Let me explain to you, and I'm going to just be all the way 100 right now. This is probably going to sound crazy as shit. When you and I met, I made a dumb-ass, ignorant-ass comment, okay? I never looked at you any differently than me. I never looked at you, OG, and said you are a woman from Africa, and that's dumb on my part. I looked at us all as black women, so I basically ignorantly belittled your culture, not the stupid-ass comment I made. I'm just talking about the mental of physically looking at each other. I belittled your heritage and basically you being more educated and more knowledgeable about where you come from versus me. I was then educated about who I am, which at damn near 36 years old, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like there were things about my culture that I dismiss when people say, Kristen, what are you? I've always just said black because that's what I knew, because I wasn't educated enough to understand people that I'm a part of. So that's my own thing. So for you to sit up here and say that basically asking a question, that's what I do. I ask questions to understand. Because right now, looking at you,
you don't ask questions to understand. You ask questions to deflect and deny someone else's experience. Okay?
I know some shit that I said, but I can't relate it to ever being a colorist towards you.
So, I hope it didn't come out the way you're making it. I wanted to be clear. I wasn't making that a bad comment. I was just saying, if you have to ask the question to understand what you did wrong, it defeats the purpose of you coming to the realization on your own.
Exactly.
That's what I said. I'm not saying that everybody's different. I'm not expecting you to process things like me. You asked me a question, and I'm just saying, if you have to ask a question like, girl, what did I do wrong? Tell me what I did wrong so I can say sorry. Okay, you took my wine. Okay, I'm sorry for taking your wine. But you physically took the wine and it wasn't yours. You see what I'm saying? Like, people have to have epiphanies. People have to come to their own realization and wake up to things that they did good or bad on their own. And that's when it becomes a deeper level. I'm not saying it's bad to ask questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question except a question not asked. What I'm saying is, if you have to constantly be told what you did to offend someone, then you yourself have not recognized it on your own.
And you lack accountability, okay? You guys, I will finish this conversation off in a part 2. I'm going to play out the rest of it. Y'all join me for that. Don't forget, you guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.